right. Welcome to Ringer Wise, guys. Cousin Sal here with Anthony Dabbundo. Raheem Palmer is out. You want to explain to everybody what happened here?
Appears there was a failure to communicate, and Raheem is locked out of the studio. So eventually he'll get in and he'll join us just in time for the punter rankings.
We gave him all sorts of tools. Yeah, we gave him like wrenches and all kinds of like a jigsaw. He's going to get in that building one way or another, but I think it'll be in a couple minutes, which gives us enough time. We're going to have a lot to go over. We have baseball, NFL preseason, fires back up tonight, plays of the day. We're going to do ticket takers. We're going to handicap the headlines. But actually, the biggest headline, Dabbundo, as we kill time here before our esteemed colleague Raheem comes back on, is that you had a golf outing with Joe House and Danny Heifetz, some of the Ringer's finest personalities. And you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I'll tell you what, the later realization that I got post-round when House sent that text in the group chat, that really put a damper on things. However, the round itself was wonderful. We had lovely time. It's always good to see those guys. You know, as somebody who works remote, I don't get to see them very often, even though we're on Zoom. It's not the same, right? You get to be in person. You get to play golf. The House gave me a couple of tips, improving my stance. You know, he says you got a good swing, but your stance needs some work. I went under my total number of shots pre-round. I had an incredible chip in on 10, but the story of the chip in is quite interesting because House and I hit our balls within about 15 feet of each other, just left of the green.
Right.
And I accidentally chipped his ball. And I hit a nice chip, and then House said, I think you played my ball. I said, oh shit, put his ball back where it was, then hit my ball and chipped it into the hole.
Wow.
So it was technically a disqualification-worthy score, but we're
it's
putting it in the
like
book
a four-stroke penalty.
As a 4.
This is Ringer Wise, guys, presented by FanDuel. Football season is back, and there's never been a better time to get in the game because FanDuel is giving rewards all season long. Whether picking a champion or building future same-game parlays, FanDuel has you covered. The app is fast, easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid instantly. Head to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started today. You have to be 21 or older in select states, 18 or older in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Nice. Well, that's good. All right. So I want to get to House's text, though, in a second. So, but really, setting out on the day, your goal was to beat Danny Heifetz, right?
Yeah, I texted Heifetz to try to get like a gauge of what his quality of golf was, and I was expecting him to be a lot better than me. He certainly was better than me, but he only ended up beating me by 1 stroke, which in my book, I covered the spread. I played a bunch of holes because on the back 9, I shot a 47. I was kind of cooking a little bit, relatively speaking, and my partner, Tom, a true Philly sports sicko, our 4th, was just the man. He was talking shit on Dak Prescott half the round, talking shit on the Phillies half the round, and hitting great shots. He really carried the team to a stellar 3-up victory in match play for Team Tom, Team Dabbundo.
Oh, that's how you did it. Okay. So House is the best out of the 4, right?
No, this guy, Tom.
Oh, Thomas. Okay.
Yeah,
so, Tom. But all right. So, but what did we find out afterwards that maybe disqualifies this whole conversation?
So because my golf clubs were stolen out of my car a month ago, I had to borrow House's backup set. Now, I brought golf balls with me that I had bought at the store that morning, and I played with them. Now, there was a couple of the cartridges left behind in House's bag, and he sent a text in the chat after the round with the empty cartridges saying, oh, Dabbundo played with ladies' golf balls.
Yo, what's up with Dabbundo having everything stolen? Like, I mean, at some point, yo, we need to get you some security or something.
Well, it was stolen from the car. You know, it was a one-time, thing. But yeah, it was.
Raheem, how can he get? Raheem is back, by the way. Thanks God, he got
locked out of the studio like Puff did the kids on Making the Band. I wasn't on CP time. I'm telling y'all that now.
All right. No, he wasn't. It was actually earlier than all of us. Screaming, trying to break down windows at like 7:20 a.m. Pacific time. All right, well, we have you now, Raheem. Yeah, the bundle. The one thing they won't steal is the girls' golf balls. Ironically, that's those are yours forever. Let's do this, Raheem. I know you got a lot. You were on fire. We got a lot to talk about. Let's handicap these headlines. Bill Simmons went at it in depth over this Lakers sale. I gotta say, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't add up totally. Nothing's legit anymore. Anyway, the Lakers sold to Bob Iger and Kushner for $12.5 billion. Raheem, your first thoughts on this? They flipped the team for a profit of $2.5 billion in what? How much time? Less than a year? I don't know. What was it? 3 days?
Well, it seems like the owner was getting arrested for fraud. It was going to go to jail. So, I mean, that's a big part of it. But shouts to my guy, Nate Jones on Twitter. He threw this out there as a conspiracy theory. The Dodgers folks realize that even with the financial aspects and market location advantages, it's almost impossible to build a juggernaut in the modern NBA. So maybe you take the accelerated gains and just move on.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if we're going to see more of this where people who are investigated by the DOJ are actually buying a pardon somehow. No, that's not what happened, right? The bundle. This is all legit. This is all on the up and up.
Well, it is interesting. I was talking about this with a friend who covers the Dodgers recently. They just had their little trip to the White House because they won the World Series. So the owner was there, shaking hands with the president. And you have to wonder if maybe that investigation came up at some point. And then you have to wonder that if maybe he didn't like the answer he got back, or he didn't feel like that meeting moved the needle for him, then maybe he said, you know what, it's time to get out, taking our wins, we're moving on. And you know what? Maybe he's just going to focus more on breaking baseball with the Dodgers. That seems to be the future of his plans in terms of owning sports teams. So if he's able to dodge this case, he has even more money now to splash on the team that's breaking the other sport we like.
And this is interesting news. It just came in. Bob Iger suspended Luka Doncic 4 days for freedom of speech issues. I don't know what it is, but he just randomly suspended him. I didn't know you could do something like that. All right. Enough dumb vitriol out of me. The Christmas schedule is out, Raheem. I know you love this. Let me go over this. These are Eastern time. Spurs at Knicks to kick things off noon. Wow. Awesome. Packers at Bears. Greatest rivalry in football. I don't know about that, but it's right there, 1 Eastern.
The Indiana Bears.
Oh, it's the Indiana Bears. Oh, it's a different team altogether. Oh, my God. That's on Netflix. Heat at Celtics, 2:30. Bills at Broncos, 4:30. That's fun. Sixers at Lakers. LeBron versus Bronny. That's at 5. Thunder at T-Wolves at 8. Rams at Seahawks, 8:15. And Nuggets at Warriors, 10:30. What jumps out to you, Raheem, other than that this is a jam-packed day and no longer about kids opening gifts?
Well, it is going to be about kids opening gifts because you got LeBron versus Bronny. I don't know what kind of gifts, Bron is going to have for Bronny, but I think it's going to come in the form of an L.
What do you think of that, the bundle?
Bronny's on team. The Lakers on Christmas.
Oh, he'll be there.
I think Adam Silver makes sure he's there for that Christmas game, and then
he's going to be called up.
Doesn't care about anything else there.
No, he's actually he doesn't need to be called up anymore. Like at this point, they've developed him into a competent role player, so he'll be there.
No, sadly, you're right, and that's why Iger and Kushner really kind of overpaid for white guys, if you ask me. But I think, if you look at this schedule, first of all, people talk about like football being spread out, and it's going to be bad for marriages because the husband or whoever the wife, whoever's the football junkie, is going to be less present. This is rough. I mean, I love Christmas and I love sports all day long, but I don't know, Dabbundo. This is taking its toll on the American marriage institution, I think.
Well, here's the thing. It's not just the day of anymore either.
Sure.
Because the NFL said, why stop at just taking over Christmas? We could take Christmas Eve. They have a game this year. They said, shit, Thanksgiving Eve is one of the most dead sports days of the entire year. We can put games on that night, too. We got Packers-Rams on Thanksgiving Eve, which might be one of the best games of that entire week. And then, of course, Chiefs on Thanksgiving, Cowboys, Lions, et cetera, et cetera. But, I think the NFL is still running this risk of going too far past the point, but that hasn't happened yet. We're all going to be tuned in, and some of us will complain on Twitter as we sit on the couch and watch the game. Oh, there's too much football, but we're all going to watch anyway, so who gives a damn, right? And I think the NFL has realized that these standalone games are doing tremendous numbers, and they have more
No
broadcast
doubt.
partners that want in the game.
Raheem, what does this do for TV sales? I feel like anybody it used to be need to be like a sports junkie like us, and gambling, have money on every game to it was a necessity to have multiple TVs. But now you could just kind of be an average fan and just like, no, I need to see both. I need to see Packers and Bears and Heat at Celtics. So
you know what though, we've gotten to the point now to where it's like I think YouTube has like a 4-box. So you can get a 4-box and then actually have different channels. So you almost don't need multiple TVs.
But not for this Netflix. Like some of these.
The
Oh yeah, for Netflix.
Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a laptop, so you pull your laptop out, and then you watch one game on the TV and one on the laptop. But you know what's so crazy? I didn't like the fact that the NFL put a game on Thanksgiving Eve, because Thanksgiving Eve is traditionally the biggest party day. It's the second biggest party day of the year behind New Year's Eve, because everybody comes home for Thanksgiving. So you really turn it up, and you're getting to see your old friends. So I didn't like that, but I don't right now. While I don't have kids, I don't mind the whole Christmas Day slate. I know last year I booked out the Fontainebleau, and I sat there and I drank mimosas all day long while I bet.
Well, it ended up being a shitty Christmas slate last year. Like, we kind of knew going in, like, the Chiefs Broncos kind of lost its luster. Commanders Cowboys wasn't exactly a thriller, and a lot of teams had already fallen out of the race. You never know.
But it wasn't bad.
On paper,
the reason why I say it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad because we had the NBA at the same time.
Sure.
So we had the Knicks and the Cavs, and then we had the Spurs and the Thunder, and then we had the Lakers and the Rockets. That was a pretty bad game. But then you had, I think you had Wolves and the Nuggets. And then, why you had, like, even that, I think
the
it was
overtime game?
Yeah, I think you had,
Yep.
You had, who played? The Cowboys versus the Commanders. And that was like a high scoring affair.
Yeah, that was fun. All right. Fighting 222 on Twitch says, over under how many bets made on Christmas, 30 or 40? I was like, I don't know. Is that combined? I mean, I think we'll go way over that. Yeah. No, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 games.
6.5 for me.
7 games, 12 bets each. Yeah, 70, about 80, 84, 85. All right, let's talk Raheem. Lots of action here in the preseason already in terms of starting quarterbacks. Kyler Murray was named the starter at FanDuel. Go over these odds here, Raheem, because they have certainly moved Kyler Murray now over J.J. McCarthy.
Well, Kyler Murray was named the starter. The previous odds on June 30th, Kyler Murray was minus 770 favorite. J.J. McCarthy was plus 520. Carson Wentz was on there at plus 700. And then about a month later, on July 21st, Kyler Murray was minus 2,500 to 1. So it was pretty clear going into this year that they didn't bring Kyler Murray in to come off the bench. At the end of the day, this Minnesota Vikings offense was abysmal. They were top 10 and defensive EPA per play on defense. On offense, I think they were 31st. So they had to bring a competent quarterback in there, and I think they can challenge for the division. We're going to talk about this later when we do the NFC North, but they're going to be a team who are going to challenge for the postseason.
Yeah, and there was no money to be made on this. Dabbundo, as Raheem said, it was minus 770. I thought it was Kyler Murray all along. You signed him. You have to start him. I don't understand the J.J. McCarthy. He might be the most AI'd quarterback in the offseason because he's a little arrogant, but then you see things like when he says he's elite. Like, is that AI? Or like when he goes after Kyler Murray's lack of accomplishments, is that AI? I can't tell either way.
He was programmed during that one season he didn't play. Like he got programmed in those one-on-one weekly beautiful meetings that he used to have with KOC where they would just get together and talk about football. Look, I'm sure that JJ knows a lot about football and could process as well as a quarterback. He goes out there, it's very obvious. And the biggest loser here is Adam Schefter. He just seemed absolutely devastated by the news.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw his tweets and his commentary on ESPN, but he just couldn't believe that JJ couldn't stick it in the NFL and that he's been forced now to be a backup. Forced, even though he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL last year.
So Adam Schefter was the only person who took my poor advice and bet JJ McCarthy to win MVP.
Oh, right.
He also went to Michigan. The Michigan people love sticking up for their guys.
Okay.
I forgot that, Raheem. Well, what a story it would be, though, if he did it now. Like, what are his MVP odds now? Can we even look? Can we post that somewhere on Twitch? Oh, that was his long shot. All right. Yeah. Schefter was as devastated as Mel Kiper was when Shedeur kept dropping in the standings. And I bring that up because another announcement is that Deshaun Watson right now, wasn't named starter, Raheem, but was named starter of the first preseason game, right? Which is a good indication.
Yeah, so they decided that they're going to start Deshaun Watson the first half of the first preseason game, and then the second half, Shedeur is going to start. And then in the second preseason game, Shedeur is going to start. So it seems like we have a true quarterback controversy. I mean, it's really tough for me because Shedeur was just so bad last year. But at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson
wasn't better, Raheem. Wait a second.
He wasn't bad.
He looked like he didn't want to play.
Last time
ever.
we saw Deshaun Watson, we were watching 2 years ago in Core Week, and they barely could complete a forward pass in the first half.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, like Shedeur was 40th out of qualified quarterbacks, 40th in EPA per play, and 39th in success rate, and 38th in completion over expectations. So, like, he literally was the worst quarterback in the league last year. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with this battle, but it probably makes sense to start the younger guy because you know what you have in Deshaun already.
2 words for you, Raheem: Pro Bowl. Shedeur Sanders made it. Yeah, it is ridiculous that it is his job to. He could steal this job from Deshaun Watson, who they have egg on their face if they pay him even $1 more. But it looks like that's how it's going to happen. All right, so we do have preseason football. We have polls up there on Twitch. Shedeur against Watson. We got a couple others that are going to be hanging out there for you to lay your opinion on. Raheem, you've done your research on key numbers in the preseason football. And now the idea is to make a bundle here, and then you got money to bet on the regular seasons. How do you do it?
So, the biggest thing we all know about key numbers. There's key numbers on point differential, and there's key numbers on total. So if you look at the NFL regular season, we know 3 is the highest key number. It comes out about 15% of the time. But in the preseason, 3 only comes out around 8% of the time. And 1 is also a key number in the preseason. And the reason why it's a key number is because if a team is driving to tie the game, they aren't kicking the extra point to tie the game. They're going for 2. So 1 lands about 8.2% of the time in the preseason over the last 5 years. And then you also look at key numbers on totals. 30 and 40 are most frequent totals at 5%, followed by 41 and 33. So, and I think we're getting to the point in the NFL preseason now where you can kind of cough and sneeze and get over a 30 or 40. So if you see a low total, you almost can kind of bang it over at this point in time. So I look out for that.
All right, that's all useful. And here's what shocks me most out of what you just said. And I know it's just preseason numbers, but I'm curious to know what the regular number is. You're saying it's as likely in a preseason game for the game to be decided by 1 point as it is that it's decided by 3 points.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
3 comes out during the regular season. 3 comes out 15% of the time.
Gotcha. And 1 is still 8%? No, or less. It's got to be less.
It's way less during the regular season.
I mean, if you think about it, like, does the field goal kicker need work on his 28-yarders? You know?
Yeah.
Do you really care about getting those extra points up? Like, I would argue, why does anybody kick extra points in the preseason? Like, why isn't everybody going for 2? You know, seeing different guys in goal line sets, seeing how a quarterback performs under pressure in those situations. 4th down and 2, why the hell are we punting? Who cares? You know, teams should actually, go even further away from that. And, we have seen that a little bit with the 2-point conversions are up. Our listener, Chris Sullivan, sent me a DM actually yesterday. He said overs were 13-2-1 in week 1 of the preseason last year. And a lot of it is due to, 1, starting quarterbacks playing more, but teams just being more aggressive. Go for it on 4th and 2. Our punter, he gets plenty of practice. I think he'll be all right if he doesn't, get this extra punt in week 1 of the preseason. So I think, you're seeing teams be more aggressive, possession changes hands more short fields, and more, going for extra points.
I get it, but so it's 5 times more likely that it ends up 3 versus 1 than it does in the regular season, is what you're saying, like 15%.
Yeah, just to give you some perspective.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years in the NFL regular season, 1 comes out about 4.7% of the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're really nerding out here. Let's give some picks here. Raheem, you start us off. This will be not just for tonight. The games go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Week 1, technically preseason, even though there was a Hall of Fame game already played.
Well, we have a show tomorrow, so I'm only giving out games for tonight because we're going to have more, tomorrow. But I have 2 picks. We have the Tennessee Titans. -4.5 and on the money line -235. The biggest thing with this is like you want to handicap head coaches. There's some head coaches who truly care about preseason. If you look at John Harbaugh in Baltimore, we know they won like 30 straight games. Robert Saleh is a coach who cares about it. He's 10-2 in August games, followed by 4-1 in the initial week of preseason. And then you look at the 49ers, they're banged up. I mean, their head coach was in the hospital. But there's so many injuries over there. I think the Titans, Robert Saleh, initial game as head coach, I think he wants to get off to a fast start. So let's lay it with the Titans. Next, we're going to go with.
I'm predicting this is one of many Titans picks from Raheem Palmer in this year, 2026. Go ahead.
Oh, most definitely. And the next one, we're going to go with the LA Chargers. I think you have some quarterbacks who they're not good in the regular season. They're not good quarterbacks overall, but I like to call them preseason merchants. Trey Lance is one of them, and I think Trey Lance is going to have a monster game tonight. I'm taking the Chargers +1.5.
He did have a 5 interception game. I guess that's technically a monster game. It's a little monstrous, but yes, he's thrived also. Okay, so those are Raheem's picks. Dabbundo, that does seem to be a lot more information out there to try to weigh against each other in these preseason games. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm going with Cincinnati -3.5. It sounds like Burrow is going to play the full first quarter. The full offensive group is going to go out there for the first 2 series. And remember, this goes back a couple of years now where Cincinnati used to start slow. They used to sit guys out in the preseason, and they said, all right, this isn't working. We got to change this up. Now, they said limited action. I suspect we see, again, 2 series. Could be 10, 14 points the way that the Bengals offense moves the ball, and Detroit is not expected to play a ton of its starters. But also, this is a weird situation for the Lions because Teddy Bridgewater just stepped away from the team. And now it's going to be Josh Dobbs and Luke Altmaier. Lions not going with their crew here. I'm going to lay it with the Bengals.
Raheem, you could live bet these also?
Yes,
right?
you can. And that's another thing. I mean,
racket.
So if you look at the scenario between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, I mean, you're going to have Watson start the first half, Shedeur start the second. I mean, you could bet something like that. Or look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They actually have a quarterback controversy for their second and third string quarterbacks. I think they have Andy Dalton and they have Tanner McKay. So if you got Andy Dalton coming in as a third string quarterback, you have an edge over another team who's just starting an undrafted rookie or, a rookie from the 6th round or something like that. So I like to look at those depth charts. I can post that for you guys on Twitter just so you can take a look. And,
don't post it on Twitter. Just let it be our secret. We don't want anyone else to know about it. I do wonder, though, maybe the odds adjust so it doesn't matter. But being down 7 in a preseason game in the second or third quarter is probably a better bet to take the underdog at that point than in a regular season game. Am I right, or do they adjust
It depends because you got some teams who have just abysmal offensive lines, and you'll see them get to the 50-yard line and they still can't even get into field goal range, or they'll have so many penalties that they end up punting. So it's a case-by-case basis. You really got to know the depth of these teams.
Yeah, seems like a lot of work. All right, speaking of abysmal offensive lines, the Raiders are in action against the Cardinals. I'm taking Arizona +1.5 here. Now, all of the Cardinals starters are playing, if you believe the coach, probably 2 series. We're going to see Jacoby Brissett and third-round pick Carson Beck, who looked pretty good last week in the Hall of Fame game versus Carolina. 15-19, 188, and a touchdown. And for the Raiders, same old Raiders, they got Cousins and Max Crosby at each other's throats. There was a confrontation. A lot of pressure on Mendoza, who we're going to see. So there probably is going to be a lot of money. I don't know, a lot of money, but a lot of curious money on Mendoza and the Raiders. I'm going the other way, the Cardinals. I think it's a little bit of an example or an advantage playing last week. I'm using the rest as a disadvantage here for the Raiders. Extra chance for the Cardinals to get the preseason chaos under control. And the Raiders, 0-5-2 in their last 7 preseason games, and that includes a 10-point loss to Arizona last year. So Raiders first-time head coach, OC, DC, and Mendoza going out there against a defensive squad that, aside from the second quarter last week, was competitive. I'm grabbing the 1.5 here. I'll give you a final score. Cards 20, Raiders 16. All right.
It's going to be 19, Sal. 20
Oh, 19?
Yep.
19 for who? Cards or Raiders?
Raiders.
Oh, the 1-point game. Yeah.
It will be
right.
funny if this comes down to a game-winning 2-point conversion. You're already seeing either way. Yeah.
I mean, that's something you should be able to bet on. How many games end up in 2-point conversion attempts at the end? All right, let's go to baseball. Dabbundo, I laugh at my team now. I'm happy if we win 1 out of 3 against the Braves. You are on the other end of this. The Phillies were riding high, and you and Raheem, even though Raheem has spent many, many years in Philadelphia, has put a hex on these Phillies from the beginning of the year, said they're not making the playoffs. And now, how many have they lose 7-1 to the Cardinals? I think that's 4 out of 6, Dabbundo?
Yes, it is, unfortunately.
That's it. That's all you want to say about it.
Now,
Raheem,
I got a lot to say about it, but I want to let Raheem cook first.
Give us the updated odds,
I get to come
Raheem.
back on what Raheem's about to say, because I know what he's going to say. He's going to try to tell us he was right again after he was wrong and then right and then wrong. Yeah, it's a journey.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I'm right now. All I'm going to say is that the Phillies are -310 to make the postseason and +240 to miss, and they're outside of the wild card by half a game. And I said at the start of the year that at some point the Philadelphia Phillies would be minus money to miss the postseason. And we saw that during the first month of the year, and then they took off. But now it feels like they're headed the opposite direction. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but right now they're outside of the postseason matchup. And if you want to take a lottery ticket, I don't think it would be a bad one at this point.
Interesting. All right. Your rebuttal, Dabbundo?
Yeah, Phillies have had a tough couple of weeks here. Certainly. They struggled coming out of the All-Star break. It has been a bit of an up and down exercise. Zach Wheeler has struggled 2 of his last 3 starts. Like, I don't not have concerns. However, when I look at the teams in front of them, San Diego, who they have already clinched the tiebreaker over and won all 6 games against, they're a game back of them. And then Arizona, who they're tied with, and they have a 3-gamer coming up in Arizona at the end of the month. They're just better baseball teams than those 2 teams. And technically they're out on a tiebreaker, but looking forward, rest of season, there's a couple things that I think work in their favor. One, they do have this somewhat easier schedule, but the main thing to include here is they play Milwaukee and Tampa the final week of the season. I'm not sure we're getting like full-throated Milwaukee and Tampa, because Tampa will have already clinched the 1 seed by then. Milwaukee may have clinched a bye by then. Probably not the 1 seed, but they're in the mix for that. So you just don't really know what kind of team you're going to get down the stretch there. And again, it comes back to who is better at run prevention, Philly or Arizona? I think that is clearly the Phillies, despite their defensive flaws. If Zach Wheeler were to go to the injured list, that would change my opinion of that matter. But as of right now, they're still saying he's healthy, he's fine, his numbers look okay under the hood. I think the Phillies are going to be okay. However, I'm certainly sweating maybe for the first time all year.
I'm looking at this. You said the Diamondbacks. I think the Diamondbacks are the key team there. So they're plus 118 to make the playoffs. If you like the Phillies, maybe go against them, and then you could strike some other magic too. A different way that Diamondbacks don't make the playoffs. But yeah, that's a shame.
It feels like
3 more against each other for what it's worth.
Right.
Arizona and San Diego only play 3 more times. San Diego does have more with the Dodgers left, but the Diamondbacks are done with the Dodgers, so that's notable too.
It feels like the Philly season is going to be determined on how many of Nola and Painter starts they can win. Because, I mean, we know Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo, they do pretty well. But what are they going to do in Nola and Painter starts? And what is the bullpen going to do? Because the bullpen has not been great lately.
Yeah. All right.
Nola's pitching tonight. Field of Dreams.
Wow.
You'll have a chance to put in your best bets here, Dabbundo, in a few minutes. Meanwhile, Red Sox, ice cold. And I think he's listening right now. The sports guy, Bill Simmons, I saw him, and he's like, hey, streaks are a part of baseball. No, I don't think so. They've lost 5 in a row. They're 64-56, Dabbundo. I wish there was a way they could blow this 4.5 game wild card lead with 42 left. Is it doable? The odds aren't even. Oh, there are on it. I didn't see him. They're minus 1250 to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs. The remaining schedule coming in for them is quite friendly. Pittsburgh, Arizona, San Francisco, Miami, the big series. And this is, I think, going to be a real test. They're going to play 4 games in the Bronx at the end of the month. And that series, if they take 3 out of 4, they might flip that impending wild card series to a home series. But really, Boston is just in a position right now. They're not really under any wild card threat. They're not going to catch the Rays for the division. It's just like, okay, we have this 3-game series. How much are we going all in to try to get that to be at Fenway versus it to be in New York like it was last year? And then when they get to that series, is Garrett Crochet healthy enough to start game 1 or not? Because if he's not, you're going up against the Yankees rotation that is vastly superior at the top end. And it's going to be very hard, I think, for Boston to go win that series. But also, even if you win that series, then you're limping into a series with Tampa. Like, this whole AL is so fascinating because clearly by true talent, the 3 best teams are all going to end up in the same half of the bracket. So you have this White Sox, Houston, maybe the Tigers, a lot of very mediocre teams behind them. And whoever ends up getting into that little section is going to feel like, hey, like, why not us? So it is so imbalanced. I don't think there's any value in Boston right now to win the pennant. I never really bought in on them as a pennant winner, but I think they're kind of a boring team now. They've settled into like going to make the playoffs, don't have a ton of upside. Hopefully they catch lightning in a bottle in October. They're going to need Crochet to do it though.
22-1 to win that division. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It is weird though, Raheem, when you look at a team, it's like, man, they were scoring 12 runs a game, ridiculous for quite a while, and then it's like, wow, if they have just a weekend in October like they did the last few games against Toronto, it's over. I mean,
not even just Toronto. I mean, they lost 2 or 3 against the A's.
Right before that.
It felt like they blew their load in that last game against the White Sox. They had a game against the White Sox where I think it went 12, 13 innings, where they just they had to come back from a deficit about 5 times to win that game, and it felt like that was their last hurrah.
Yeah, they've had a lot of chances though. I mean, like they were winning a lot of coin flippy games. Like all the big hits were going their way. They were winning a lot of close games, and then they lost 4-3 in the 9th. To the A's, right? Chapman gave up a run. They lose 2-1 in that crazy game to Toronto with the weird base running thing, but they also left the tying run on 3rd with 1 out in the 9th in that game. They lost close the other night as well. So they've been losing just kind of close games that they were winning, and that all evens out. Net, this is still the same team that swept the Rays and the Dodgers in the last month. So I still think they're one of the 6 or 7 best teams. I just don't think their path is going to be easy if they're going to have to beat the Yankees and the Rays to do anything in the playoffs.
All right. Speaking of those Dodgers, I had a lot of people hit me up and like, is there a worse bet in baseball than the Dodgers -1.5? It's a killer. Well, it came in last night for the first time in 11 games, which is crazy for this Dodgers team. It really is. I had the nice SGP of Dodgers -1.5. I figured they'd break the streak and Freddie Freeman to hit a home run. I should have parlayed it with Freddie Freeman to disappear into a dugout and never return again. My goodness. Did anybody see that? He went flying in, and it was like a cavernous thing where I didn't think it was. But anyway, it was between him and Betts to hit a home run. And I took Freddie, and that was a loser. The bigger picture here, number 1 seed, Raheem, we did mention it earlier. They're -230 to grab that number 1 seed. The Brewers, I believe, are +450. And is it the Braves 3rd at 600? I think that's how it is. Any value in any of those?
Any value on any of those?
I ask all the tough questions.
My pick would be Milwaukee, but Terang going out is a little scary.
Yeah.
He's their best player offensively, and overall like F4 player. And without him, that lineup takes a big hit at the top. It looks like he's going to miss tonight. They're playing the Dodgers this weekend, so huge series, 4-gamer out west. I still would say Brewers if I had to pick anybody there.
What are the odds on them? Are there odds for this? Because I think that's
the 1 seed.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so it's 230 for the Dodgers, +450 for the Brewers, and +600 for the Braves for the 1 seed. What jumps up to me is the first round bye for the Brewers is a coin flip now. I'm on the yes for that. I think a lot bad would have to happen.
I think you have to take the Braves. I mean, they're all around the same record.
Yeah.
And just take the Braves been hot after the All-Star break. I mean, +600. I mean, like, if you're looking for a lottery ticket, grab that one.
Their pitching is not good enough. I mean, they're getting like great starts out of Martin Perez to hang in here, but you look at the quality of starting pitching that the Brewers and the Dodgers can throw every night versus the Braves. That feels like it's going to cost Atlanta 2 or 3 games coming in here.
I mean, Acuna's been back, what, a week and a half, 10 days or something? So, I don't know. That could be good.
The bullpen, I mean, their bullpen is the best of the 3, certainly. The back end especially. And they just added Suter, and Suter was awesome against the Mets on Monday night. But I don't think this Atlanta starting pitching is good enough. Like, I was joking on Twitter on Monday about Bryce Elder. You know, he gets the start, gives up 5 runs in the first inning. Right now, he's probably their 3rd starter in a playoff series. So that's what scares me about Atlanta.
Can't joke like that on Twitter.
I mean, I think it's different. I think it's a little different in the playoff series than in the regular season. Like, I agree with you in the regular. I mean, for the playoffs, like, I don't think the pitching is good enough. But if we're talking about regular season, you know, it's just ups and downs.
Yeah, they got the toughest schedule too. They're still Philly 7 times, Tampa 3, Chicago 3, Milwaukee 3. Next week they have Milwaukee too. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
The only other thing I wanted to hit on baseball, Junior Caminero the other day became the 3rd player to hit 35-plus home runs 2 straight seasons before turning 23. We all love him. We all have some kind of futures on him. But what's fascinating to me is now 4-way tie for the home run lead. If you look at the stats, 35 home runs. And Kyle Schwarber still the favorite at plus 175. Your guy, Hunter Goodman, Raheem, I know you have a chunk on him. He has 34, so he's right there. There are 5 guys in this, Dabbundo, and it seems like it's going to be a less than spectacular number to end it. Like, what do you think wins this? 44? If I said 44 and a half, you would go over slightly? Is that a bad number?
Oh, I'd go over. I would say 47 and a half.
Okay.
Right now, the leader's on pace for 46. So you'd have to assume whoever wins, it's going to do a little better.
Is that right? They'll hit 11 in 40 more games? I guess so. All right.
Roughly. A little less than a third. But
all right.
Yeah, I struggle to trust Schwarber right now. Honestly, he's had a power outage since the All-Star break. There's been questions about whether he's nursing a back injury that they're not talking about. He had that gastroenteritis thing happen where he missed a couple of games. So, you know, Schwarber, I would not make the favorite here. I'll be honest. I'd make Caminero or Alvarez the favorite to win the home run title. Alvarez has the highest injury risk out of all of them. But yeah. I think Caminero is rightfully right there. I mean, all of his underlying stats, he doesn't hit the ball on the ground as much as he used to. It's all pointing up for Caminero. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased.
He's plus 240. Yeah, we love our friends at FanDuel, but these odds are junk for a 4-way race, a 5-way race. I think Hunter
Goodman's not even out of it, right?
Raheem's guy is the only one to go with. He's plus 950. He's a home run off. Everybody else is 280, 240, 200. So
and really, who's at 33? Because I wouldn't put them out of it.
There is a 33. Is it Ben Rice?
Mm-hmm. James Wood just
he's
got
19 to 1. Otani 100 to 1. That's a great pick. All right, so that's baseball. Let's do this. Ticket takers. Now, for those of you watching us for the first time here on Twitch or just confused by the rules, I present Raheem and Dabbundo a virtual ticket. I hand it to them over Twitch. I hand them 2, and they give me 1 back of equal or similar odds. So here's how it'll go. The Lakers, new ownership to win the NBA's Western Conference, or the Steelers to win the AFC, or I'll give you a 3rd ticket, the Astros to win the World Series, all around 25 to 1. Raheem, I'll give you the 3 tickets. You give me 2 back.
I give you 2. All right, so we're throwing out the Steelers. The Steelers are not winning the AFC. If you saw our preview podcast the other day, you know I do not like the Steelers. So I think in baseball, there's a ton of variance. I mean, anything can kind of happen. So you kind of got to go with the Astros. And then the Lakers, you got Luka Doncic. So you always have a shot. So give me those 2.
It was a really
you got to give me. You're giving me 2. You're keeping 1. You keep one.
I'm keeping 1.
You give me 2 back.
I'm gonna ride with my Lakers, Luka Doncic. You keep the other 2.
All right. Dabbundo, don't say the Steelers here. I know you said
I'm not going to say the Steelers. I kind of like the Steelers. I think they might win the division. I think they're underrated. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers can win 3 straight games against good playoff teams, good defenses. I don't think that's happening in the year in the Big 2-6, or in this case the Big 2-7 next January. However, I'm going to agree with the Astros take, and again, it just kind of gets into what we said earlier about the way that this National League, American League playoff is setting up, where you have a Houston team 62-60. They are the favorite to win a division that stinks, and yet would probably be a favorite against the 2-seed White Sox in a potential
round?
DS if they got there. And the 6 seed right now would be who? The Rangers or maybe the Tigers or the Twins. They're favored against those teams. I still don't trust their top end pitching.
Yeah.
But, Wesneski has looked better. Brown is very good. The bullpen's still decent. Pena's healthy now. Like, I guess it has to be Houston. I don't even think they're good, but at least they have a clear path, whereas everybody else is going to have to run the gauntlet. And the Lakers...
That's who I would go with.
Is Luka Doncic... Raheem, I'm going to ask you this. Is Luka Doncic the player with the most pressure on him entering 2026 in the NBA?
No. It's Victor Wembanyama.
Made a case for it, and I kind of agree.
It's Victor Wembanyama.
No way.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, because people have raised the bar on him so much, and he's coming into the season like he's the favorite to win MVP. Like, you're going into next season, people are expecting him to go to the finals, and I'm not going to say it's finals or bust, but the media has been really high on him, and it feels like the tide is starting to turn, and you're going to start to see some hate. So with him being the MVP favorite, but it's like, so for me, it's like Luka's almost being forgotten about just because there's not as much expectations, but Wemby, he has that pressure on him.
Especially since he shows signs of being a borderline dirty player too, right? You're asked to step it up even more. Yeah, between these three, I'd go Astros. I'm with Dabbundo. I wish the pitching staff boasted something better than Lambert and Arrighetti up top, Hunter Brown, I guess. But Alvarez, Pena, get hot with the bats in October. Who knows? They've been there before. All right, here's one. Exactly the same yardage. I give you tickets. Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor over. I'm going to ask you to go over 1225.5. Which is the better option, Raheem?
Oh, this is Jonathan Taylor by far. Really? I mean, if you look, Derrick Henry has a lot of tread on his tires. I mean, like, you're talking about a guy who has about 2,600 carries throughout the course of his career. His first year in Baltimore, he had 1,900 rushing yards. Last year, he had 1,500. We just don't know if, under the new coaching staff with Jesse Mentor, if they're going to reduce his workload. Like, that's a real possibility. And I look at Jonathan Taylor. He's only 26 years old. He's still on his way up. So give me Jonathan Taylor. I think this is an easy one.
All right, Dabbundo, what do you think?
Yeah, so if you look at offensive line rankings going into the season, there's a good composite that somebody put together today. Ravens pretty far down there, 20th on the composite. Colts 7th. And I'll go Taylor because I think they're going to be incentivized to protect Daniel Jones as much as possible early in the season as he's nursing himself back from the injuries that he had. And Taylor is also so much more at this point in their career of the big home run hitter, where we saw last year when the Colts did have leads, they were able to put games away with explosive runs. They were so much more explosive as an offense. I don't know if this Baltimore offense has that gear to the same extent anymore. We certainly didn't see it last year. So I would go with John Taylor.
I guess there's a little bit of a question mark when you ship off the best center in the league, right?
Yeah.
And now you're running the title in the butt.
The interior could be shaky, real shaky for Baltimore.
I wonder if there's fewer designed runs for Lamar now, and that leads to a few more carries for Derrick Henry, God forbid. We talked about him getting 1,500 for 6 years. I bet that's a secret goal. I think both are good bets, and I hate going overs with running backs.
All it takes is one hit, right? And you're done for the year.
I mean, I feel like by week 8, 7 of them are unders completely, and then you just have to split the rest. But a lot of times they vig you out of that prop. But, okay, here's an Indiana-based situation. Daniel Jones MVP, you mentioned him, Dabbundo, of your beloved Colts, or Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White to win Coach of the Year. Both 100 to 1. All right, Dabbundo, I'll let you go first.
Let's see here. What would have to happen for Daniel Jones to win the MVP? Because even last year, when he was putting up like 2007 Brady numbers, people weren't even considering him. They were like, nah, it's John Taylor. Nah, it's the O-line.
I think they were a little bit. Just have fun.
I don't remember that in my discourse. I don't think anybody was saying that. So by default, you have to go with Stephanie White. Now, I would be lying if I said I could pick out Stephanie White from a police lineup if they had one on the street and they said which one is the coach of the Fever. However, it looks like the Lynx are running away with the WNBA this year. So, save your money is my answer to this one.
Well, she's got some controversy. I mean, she's not getting any votes. I mean, Daniel Jones will get more votes throwing 35 interceptions, I think. So it's a bad bet either way. But Raheem, you have to pick. You have to give.
I mean, would you rather have diarrhea or would you rather vomit? I mean, that's where we're at this point in time.
Diarrhea, of course.
I think the Stephanie White Coach of the Year is already decided.
Yeah.
So just by proxy, I at least have a chance with Daniel Jones. Like, because it has, like, the season hasn't started. Like, there's a chance that maybe he comes in and, you know, maybe he gets hot for a game and this drops to 60-1 or 70-1. And I got a little bit of cash out value. I can cash out for, you know, $5 and make a profit.
All right. People are split 50-50 on Daniel Jones, Stephanie White and our Twitch poll right now. There you go. All right, let's do one more here. Ohio State at Texas, week 2, or Knicks at home over Spurs, Christmas Day. Both plus 1.5. Oh, boy, Raheem.
Okay, so
Ohio State, Texas.
I thought about this one a lot last night.
Okay.
Texas actually opened up as the favorite. And now Ohio State is the favorite. So that's where the sharp money has gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because the only sharps are betting early. So if you see a significant line move like that, that's key. And then next, this game is taking place week 2. So you're not going to have a ton of injuries for either team. Now, the Knicks and the Spurs, that game is taking place on Christmas Day. That is a month and a half into the season and after an in-season tournament. So we don't know if any of those guys are going to be healthy. And then I also look at this Knicks team. One of the reasons why I like the Knicks in the postseason last year so much against the Spurs is Mitchell Robinson. There is no Mitchell Robinson to throw at Wimpy. So now that matchup gets a little bit tougher. So I'm not going to be taking the Knicks in that matchup. Give me Ohio State over Texas.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, the Ohio State beat them last year, right? Very a big defensive game. They're not hanging a banger, right? They're not waiting until Christmas to hang a banner, the Knicks. That would be fun to do it right there in the Spurs' face, Dabbundo. But aside from that, which one you going?
Yeah, I mean, my friend's been talking about this Ohio State Texas game for like the last 3 days. We've been going back and forth on it and what we like and what we think of Arch Manning. There's so much intrigue on this matchup. But at Texas, Ohio State's going to be multiple points better than them. I'm not sure about that. So I'm going to go with the Knicks on Christmas. They're always up for that home MSG noon spot. So I'll go with the Knicks.
You're not alone. Knicks Spurs 67% on our poll, on our Twitch poll.
Interesting. Damn, so I'm off the Knicks bandwagon, and everybody else is jumping on. I think y'all might be late. I'm sorry. I think y'all late to the party.
Famously called Knicks in 5. You did it, Raheem. All right. That's gonna be a fun Christmas way to start the holiday off. All right, let's do it. Thursday plays of the day. We already gave you a couple that will work for NFL preseason tonight. These all involve what's going on the diamond. Dabbundo, you want to start us off?
Yeah, let's go to the Field of Dreams game. Bryce Harper to hit a home run plus 450. You never know when Major League Baseball is going to juice the balls here, but really this is a good matchup for Harper against Taj Bradley, Minnesota starter, who does give up a lot of fly balls. He's done a better job this year of keeping the ball in the park. That's why he has his ERA below 4. But again, this environment tonight, he struggles with lefties. I'm going to go with Harper to hit a home run plus 450. His odds are way better than Schwarber's, and Schwarber in this current state really shouldn't be as low as he is.
Which current state? Which current state is the game being played in?
Kyle Schwarber? His current state of not being very good at hitting baseballs out of the
I'm
park.
an actual geographical state.
I'm a little concerned. But yeah, we're happy Iowa tonight. Everybody enjoy the game. I'm excited.
I didn't even realize it was a Field of Dreams game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will for the rest of my life, I will always remember that Tim Anderson walk-off. And
that was awesome.
All the social media memes where they put the Kanye father stretch my hand over that. It was just beautiful. And he actually announced his retirement the other day, Tim Anderson. Shouts out to him. He was really good until he just wasn't.
Yeah,
He is
fell off hard. Down goes Anderson is another thing we'll always remember for Tim. Yeah.
This park it's the same dimensions, right? I'm saying 335 down the line, 400 dead center. Maybe a little short, according to some.
It's a little short, but it's pretty comparable to Citizens Bank Park.
All right, there you go. Raheem, I'll let you end things here. I'm going to go Rangers, Angels, under 8, which is even odds. DeGrom, going back to our friend Jake DeGrom. Last start, he had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings, 1 earned run against Baltimore. In his last start against the Angels in early July, he had 7 Ks and allowed just 2 earned runs. Angels, 26th in the major league in batting average, and their starter, Walbert Arena, has a 2.83 ERA. Texas against them in career combined 2-24, 0.83 batting average. Those are the hitters for the Rangers. And since July, he's given up 1 earned run or fewer in 5 of 6. Here's something interesting. I know they had 5 yesterday, so this ruins it. But the Angels have not scored more than 4 runs in 16 of their last 17. 4-2 final in Anaheim. Give me the under 8 at even odds. Raheem, take us home.
I'm taking the Cubs. They're going for the sweep today. There's no James Woods for the Washington Nationals. You look at that Washington Nationals bullpen. I think the Cubs have the better lineup. I mean, you saw them explode yesterday. I expect them to do the same thing today. Get the sweep. Chicago Cubs.
All right. Is that an early? I'm going to bet that. Is that an early game? Early-ish?
Yeah, I think it is early.
4 Eastern. Okay. All right, we're going to hit that. All right,
I'm excited
guys.
to see what Gausman looks like for the Cubs. They tweak some things.
Mm-hmm.
They did trade for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You excited in that you'll put money on them at 13-1 to win a World Series? Not that excited.
I mean, look, if Tarang's going to be out a while, I mean, it looks like a sprain, so not too bad for him, but like he's going to miss some time. They're not out of that race.
Right.
They would need to get the top bye, I think, to have a chance. I don't really trust their bullpen depth enough, but if they got the bye, it wouldn't be shocked. They still have 7 more games in Milwaukee.
All right, it's gonna be fun. We're not going to be talking a ton of baseball after 10 days from now. It's going to be locked into football. We're going to be locked in tomorrow. Is it already tomorrow that we're doing the AFC South? The beloved,
the best division in football?
The cherished AFC South, according to Dabbundo.
Indianapolis Colts football discussions coming your way soon?
We're going to find out if Dabundo's a real homer because these Colts are up against a lot. Raheem, you're licking your chops.
You know what though? He already let the cat out the bag. He's not going to be a homer.
My most profitable team is also underway tomorrow when we discuss the Houston Texans.
Underway, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't want to tip my hand here either, but I love the Texans. Now I feel everybody's.
They're actually becoming one of the most trendy teams.
I know.
Those O-line
get
rankings,
away,
by the way,
everybody.
30th for Texans in the preseason.
What kind of rankings? What?
The O-line rankings, the composite O-line rankings that like aggregates all the people that do the rankings, have them 30th in the NFL this year.
Oh, I know it. Yeah. Awful in the red zone. All right, let's check it out. So that's AFC South on Friday. Next week, Tate and I will do the SEC and Big 12 and Notre Dame. And the fellas, the 3 of us in house, will also have a couple more with division previews, right? We'll finish up the AFC and then start the NFC next week. It's all very busy. It's all a lot of fun. Raheem, where can people find you?
I am Rostradamus on Twitter and Instagram. I need more Instagram followers. I got a bunch of Twitter followers. I need more Instagram followers because I post a lot of food pics. I know y'all like food. I know y'all like flyness. Yeah. It's all in my Instagram story every single day. So follow me on Instagram. I am Rostradamus. We might eat some lobster this weekend, some clams, some mussels, and then hit the gym.
I love it. Dabbundo, any clams and mussels for you? No mussels.
I have a nice Italian dinner tonight, actually. I'm very excited for that. Going to Fiorella in Philly. Great spot in the Italian market.
Okay. I'm actually going for Italian tonight, too. It's my father's 85th birthday, and he insists on going to this this shitty Italian restaurant by where he lives. So that's what we're going to be doing. Thank you, fellas. And that's going to do it for another episode of The Ringer Wise Guys. For Raheem Palmer and Anthony Dabbundo, I'm Sal saying so long and happy handicapping. You must be 21 or older and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE/NY or text Hope New York in New York. For Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867.